Hey Cardinal fans, and welcome to the Uiw Coaches Show. I'm your host, Karla Bello. The Uiw men's basketball team dropped 2 games last week as they fell to Central Arkansas by the score of 77-60 and lost a heartbreaker to Stephen F. Austin 74-71. The Cardinals showed a lot of heart last week. They had a shot to tie the game against the Lumberjacks with a 3-pointer at the end of regulation, but unfortunately, it came up short. Women's basketball was unable to secure a win as they also lost to UCA and SFA. However, the Cardinals competed well against Stephen F. Austin and even had a lead in the fourth quarter against the undefeated Southland Lumberjacks. Men's tennis split a pair of duels to kick off the 2019 season as they failed to rise 7-0 but bounced back against Prairie View A&M with a 7-0 victory. The Uiw track and field team celebrated at the Texas Tech Red Raider Invitational last Friday. Garett Cortez finished first in the men's 3,000-meter contest, while Seri Alexander continued her hot start by placing in the top 3 in both the long and triple jump competitions. Today, we will take an in-depth look at Garett Cortez and what it means for him to be a Cardinal. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Danielle Martinez. I am a cross-country and track senior. Being able to run here at Uiw has given me the opportunity not only to get a higher education, but to make some lifelong friends on the team and in my classes.
Hello, my name is Garett Cortez, 1500-meter Southland Conference champion here at Uiw. Track and fields really helped me build a family and made me a leader on and off the track. We would really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you all for your help and support, and continue to help us grow as a program.
Hey Cardinal fans, joining us right now we have the men's basketball head coach, Carson Cunningham. Hello Coach, how are you?
Hello, doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Coach, what an intense game against Stephen F. Austin this past Saturday. It all came down to the last possession of the game. Despite the loss, how do you feel about the resiliency your team displayed?
Well, I do think we did a lot of things well and definitely played hard. You know, it can feel excruciating, you know, to lose, especially on the last possession when we had a couple opportunities. And we're just all going to have to get better, right? I got to try to keep refining things and putting them in good spots, and just got to execute a little better, and we'll get over the hump.
Coach, after watching tape, what's going to be the emphasis at practices, and what modification are you going to do moving forward?
Well, first, I'd also like to thank the fans. They were awesome at the last home game versus Stephen F. And really hope that they were inspired and liked what they saw, so they come back, because that was a big boost. For us, you know, the turnaround in your games are pretty quick. So, like, we're playing Lamar tomorrow, so you really try to focus on what you need to improve from your game and then what they do offensively and defensively, so you can strategically deal with that. So that's really the focus in practice, and build upon the things we did well. I thought a lot of our defensive rotations were good, a lot of our communication was solid, and we just gotta keep working at it. There are some guys who I think continue to show growth. Look at a player like Jordan Caruso, who's just been playing great lately, and obviously Morgan Taylor has been putting together fantastic outings, and just a number of freshmen that we've been seeing growth from, and returners as well. So just keep grappling, and don't get too high or don't get too low.
Coach, 5 games into conference play, what's your assessment about the Southland Conference?
Well, we knew it'd be strong. I mean, every conference is an absolute battle royale, my friend. And, you know, there's tough players, there's good coaches, it's physical. Teams have shot it quite well. And, you know, we're going to have to, in time, build our physiques up to deal with a little bit better with some of the physicality, which we expected coming into the year. And I've been through that before with a young group, you know, they keep lifting and they get a little older and they come back and look a little stronger. So it can happen, but we definitely you know, need to focus on that in the off season. That's for sure.
Coach, talk about freshman Jordan Caruso. He has stepped up in the past few games, and he has been a great contribution off the bench.
Absolutely. Been playing fantastic in practice, having great practices, communicating, engaged, energetic, and it's really carried over to the game. He's made huge strides. I think he's picking up on what we're trying to do. He's got really good timing, passing and cutting. It's been helpful, and he knows how to complement other players, put them in good positions, and then slide into the open area. And he's got a knack for that. So, been very pleased with his development, and we're excited to see him just keep going.
Coach, what are your expectations for this upcoming 2 games?
Well, we just go one at a time. Absolute battle royales, all of them. So we're going to be playing Lamar, and they're something like 7-1 at home, and so we know that every South End game is a mighty challenge. So we're just going to give it all we got, and we'll see what happens.
Yes, Coach. Well, Coach, thank you so much for being here, and good luck on your upcoming 2 games.
Thank you very much. Stay strong, my friend.
Thank you.
Each summer, student-athlete leaders from the Southland Conference's 13 schools get together for a retreat. Before we start another season of competition, there's time to have some fun and bond. We also share experiences of serving our campuses and communities. Together, Southland student-athletes completed more than 30,000 community service hours over the past year. We pull for each other and push to make each other better. Just part of what makes us Southland strong.
Hey Cardinal fans, joining us today we have the women's basketball head coach, Christy Smith. Hello Coach, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Coach, your team went down early versus Stephen F. Austin, but fought back right before halftime. How were you able to carry that momentum, and what was your message to your team?
The first quarter was a bit of a struggle. I think at one point we were down maybe 15 or 16 points. Which has been kind of what's happened throughout the season. We dig ourselves in a hole and then we struggle to come out of it. But I thought they did a really good job of fighting and hanging in there. I think one of the biggest things was just the crowd support, and I believe the baseball team and swimming and diving were there, and they were incredibly rowdy, which really helped to fuel our players and our team, and they just really feed off of that, and the excitement helped them to continue. And when they knock down a shot and there's a crowd there to support them, it keeps them going. And so I really felt like going into halftime there was a lot of excitement, even though it still was a 7-point game. They were just able to carry that over into halftime and then come out in the third quarter. But like what I've said before, it's just consistency and being able to put together 4 quarters in one game.
Coach, you were able to outscore SFA 18-9 in the third quarter. How were you able to carry that momentum? And it was mostly thanks to the full court press that you were able to create. What was the key in executing a full court press?
That's one of the things that we've really been focusing on here in the conference play is our press and trying to create points off of our defense versus just relying solely on our offense. And I thought that we did a good job in 2 quarters of doing that and getting after them. And Macy Ray just did a really good job of playing almost the entire game, pressuring their point guard, and then with the rest of the players feeding off of her and being able to create some steals. But then also just helps us to flow into our offense a little bit better. So I thought we did a really good job in the second quarter and in the third quarter with that.
Yes, Coach. You were playing in front of your biggest home crowd of this season. How did that impact the team's play?
I think it was tremendous. I think with the support of the other athletes there, like I said, with baseball and the swimming and diving teams, it was just a lot of fun, and our players really fed off of it, and the energy that it created really helped them. So if that support continues, that would be really helpful for our team and for our players to be able to continue building.
Coach, talk about the great contribution from Macy Ray and Star O'Massey. Talk about a little bit more about them.
Sure.
too.
I think anytime you can get playing time for freshmen, I think it helps to build for the future of your program. And with the two of them, they've started some games and they've come off the bench some games, but I think they're really starting to get the hang of what it's like to play in the Southland Conference, and their confidence just keeps increasing every game. And Star's energy really helps us, especially when she's going after offensive boards and getting putbacks. And I think on Saturday she just had a really complete game. She contributed with assists, with rebounds, with points. She knocked down a really big three-pointer in the fourth quarter for us. So she's doing really well, and Macy, her confidence just continues to grow. And when she steps up and knocks down a couple threes for us, it really brings a lot of energy to our team.
Coach, lastly, the team has participated in a number of community activities in the last week, going to a local elementary school and participating in the MLK March yesterday. How important are these activities away from the basketball court for you and your team?
I think it's really important. We try to preach that it's key to give back, and there's lots of different areas where you can serve in your community, and not everybody's going to enjoy specific areas of giving back, and so we try to give them an opportunity to serve in different ways and with different organizations, so they can find what their niche is and what they enjoy. And the thing that I love the most is that they're all in, and they don't complain about it, and they enjoy it, and they have a good time, and especially when they're around kids, they just love them. And so I think they've done a really good job with that, and I'm very proud of them.
Oh, Coach, thank you so much for being here, and good luck on this upcoming game against Lamar.
Thank you.
Want to impress your friends at the next UIW tailgating party? Here at NCR, we have plenty of makes and models for every personality, even yours, Red. Do you see anything here that catches your eye? This isn't the type of tailgating I had in mind, Red.
Hello, Cardinal fans. Joining us today, we have the men's and women's cross-country track and field head coach, Riedel. Hello, Coach. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Really good. Coach, talk about your team's performance last week at Lubbock, Texas.
It was a good meet for us. We made it through healthy. So again, 2 weeks in a row healthy. We had some great performances. Saray Alexander finished second in the long jump behind a professional post-collegiate. And that put her 7th in the nation right now after 3 weeks of indoors. So that was solid. She also did well in triple jump, improved a little bit from her previous mark. Garett Cortez won the 3K. So, and I understand he's being featured here on this show. So that's fitting with him winning his the 3K. But 4x4 ran pretty well. We had several people make the finals in the 60. Clint Cole, Andrew Luthner, and Alonzo Woods. And then we had some good 200-meter times from Tiffany Mays and Deja Keys. So it was a solid meet.
Yes.
Pretty proud.
Coach Garett Cortez added another title. He won, like you just mentioned before, the 3,000 meter. How do you feel about his success?
It's well deserved. I mean, he works hard every day. He's diligent about everything that he does. He leads the team. I mean, he sets the example for the men and the women, and not just the distance group, but the whole team in general. He's very well respected. Everybody knows that he has their best interest at heart. That he's going to be the hardest worker on the team, or one of the hardest workers on the team. And I always tell our leaders, often that when your best athletes are also your best leaders and your best workers, your hardest workers, that's when you have your best teams. And that's what we have this year. And that's what we had last year, and that's what we definitely have this year with Garett Cortez leading the way. So.
Yes, Coach, for sure. Coach, how are your practices helping and building towards the Southland Conference Championship next month?
Next month, yeah, February 24th and 25th. Yeah, it's coming up soon, about 5 weeks from now. We're just focusing on conditioning, and we're very specific in our training right now. So we're focusing on execution and practice, working on the little things, keeping the intensity high as we lower our volume. We're kind of training through these first few meets. We're going to back off a little bit for the University of Houston this weekend. But ultimately, the Texas Tech meet in 2 weeks, and we go back up to Lubbock will be our big test. That'll show how ready we are for conference. We'll taper off for that one. But yeah, we're just focusing on executing and practice every day, taking advantage of the nice weather. Today it's 65 degrees, so really nice. Not perfect track weather, but is about as good as you can get in January.
Yes, Coach, for sure. Coach, what has been the biggest, or who has been the biggest surprise about the indoor season?
Biggest surprise has been our health, and I don't say that as I'm surprised we've stayed healthy, but I'm thankful that we've stayed so healthy thus far this season. That allows us to train at a higher level, allows us to put people in the events that we want to put them in at the meets, and be able to compete at a high level. And I would say the surprise, the thing that I've been the proudest of besides the health, has been how close the team is. Like I said a minute ago, our best athletes are also our hardest workers and our best leaders. Garett, Cortez, Saray Alexander, Clint Cole, Rodney Littlejohn, Dion Hardy, Dominique Allen, Tiffany Mays. I could go on, Deja Keys. Those athletes are setting the tone for the rest of our team, and they're falling in line and they're following what they're doing. And that's really helped us to get off to a quick start. And that's been the main reason. And the thing that I'm surprised the most of, proudest of the most, and pleased with as well to start the season. So I'm looking forward to U of H here this weekend.
Yes, Coach Uiw. We're also looking forward for that. And thank you so much for being here, and good luck and congratulations on this.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Karla.
Hey Cardinal fans, joining us today we have the men's and women's swimming head coach, Phillip Davis. Hello Coach, how are you?
I'm good, how are you doing?
Really good. Coach, talk about the remarkable contribution of Héctor Rubalcaba Cruz and Leonardo Sanchez at the meet last week.
We had a whole lot of swimming the whole week, and we started off with Loyola in New Orleans, and then we went to Florida State where Hector won all of his races there. And then we finished up at LSU, and Hector went 3 for 3 at LSU, winning the 5 free, the 2 fly, and the 200 IM. So, I mean, he's just a stud. I mean, he gets everything that he deserves. I mean, he works really hard. He's a 24-hour-a-day athlete. He eats the right way, he sleeps, he hydrates, he stretches, takes care of his body, does what he needs to do in the classroom. He does well there. And it's not really a surprise. It's just one of the guys that you really root for, and it doesn't always work out that way. People that work super hard don't always get, what you think they deserve as a coach. But for Hector right now, it's nice to see, because I mean he's earned it. And Leo's a great addition. Actually, we're swimming TCU this weekend. Leo is a transfer from TCU, and he has some friends here, and I'm sure he wants to do well against his former team. Of course, not many people on the team when he was there, and new coach and everything, so it's not like a personal thing, but I'm sure he wants to do well, and we're going to try to put him in position to be competitive and to have success. But again, even though this meet's exciting, we're not like resting for this meet. Like, we're going to do 2 practices on Friday, wow. and then we're gonna swim Saturday the meet. So.
Coach, you host North Texas and also TCU, like you just mentioned before. How do you feel about hosting these 2, or about having these 2 competitions at home?
Exciting. I mean, anytime we get to swim is exciting. When you can do it at home is great. I mean, it's nothing new. Since 2006, we've been hosting TCU and these guys. This will be the first time we've hosted TCU since we've been Division I in the same level with them. So, I mean, like when we were Division II, you swim TCU, and it's exciting, it's fun, but now it's at the point where we need to win this meet. So it would be nice to win the meat. Again, swimming's a different animal. Like all I can think about right now, we talk about these meets this weekend and SMU in a couple weeks. I'm just thinking about February 20th when we start the conference championship. I mean, that's what our goal is from August to now. And so as we get this close, you don't want to stumble, you don't want to trip, you don't want to have the flu get us, we don't want sinuses getting us. We all know about Mountain Cedar and all that stuff going on. School's starting up, the stresses, the boyfriends and girlfriends breaking up all around you. I mean, it's just a minefield of things that can throw us off course. And this weekend is no different. It's just another step, to get into the top of the podium.
Yeah, Coach, and I'm very sure you guys are going to get there for sure.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Coach, how do you feel about being recognized in front of 1,339 people this past Saturday?
It's exciting. I mean, it's always good to be recognized when you do reach those achievements. We've been very blessed to have a lot of conference team championships in my time at UIW, and that's something we don't take for granted, but it's nice to get recognized for them. But it was, a year ago at this time, we weren't the champions. So, I mean, it's exciting to hey, we've been here, done that. Should take a little pressure off the guys so that we can go there and swim at the best of our ability. And so we fully expect to go and compete for another title in a month. And so getting recognized in front of the basketball game was exciting. It was fun to watch our girls compete well, and then the guys followed up with another good game. It's just we're still babies in the whole D1 thing, so it's going to take a while before we're off and running in some areas. But I mean, we're definitely moving in the right direction. So we're happy to be a part of that.
Yes, Coach, and again, congratulations on this big accomplishment, and good luck on this upcoming meet that you have here at home.
Thank you.
Hey Cardinal fans, joining us today we have the men's tennis head coach, Jonas Andersson. Hello Coach, how are you?
Hey, I'm great.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. Appreciate it.
Coach, how do you maximize the performance of your team and also the performance of your athletes?
Well, we're trying to combine fitness and the mental aspect and everything, and usually what we do is in the beginning of the week we try to work really hard the first 2-3 days and then taper down the 2 days before practice, or match actually, just to make sure we maximize the performance when they play their matches.
Coach, what are your thoughts about game pace skills and decision making during a game?
Well, the thing with tennis is it's constantly changing. So you gotta, it's like playing chess. You always got to be thinking, see what the other guy is doing, and make adjustments. And that's where a lot of times when you're in a match, you got to really make sure you pay attention not just to your game but also to your opponent's game.
Coach, who were some of the student athletes that really created a big impact in the meet last week?
I think Gabe Evans, our number one guy, had a huge match. He played against a really high-level player, and Gabe was in there, and he ended up losing in the final set with a match point. So he was very close to have one of his biggest wins of his college career.
And Coach, what are the methods that you put in place to make sure your athletes continue to have that positive mentality in all the matches?
Well, I think the most important part, it starts, I think, with the warm up, how you prepare yourself for matches. I think the preparation is very important, to be able to start with a positive mind frame and take it from there.
Coach, and finally, talk about the home opener at the Lady of the Lake.
Yeah, so it's going to be this Friday, 2 p.m. I know they lost one of their top players. I think we feel very confident and think that we're going to do pretty good.
Coach, thank you so much for being here today, and good luck on this upcoming meet.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
He has set records in cross country and also in track. We have Garett Cortez. Hi Garett, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Garett, how old were you when you started doing cross country and track?
I was about 12 years old.
I was in 7th grade, and just one day my friend back then was like, hey, you know, let's try for the track team. And I said, why not? I mean, I got nothing else to do, and here I am.
And when did you realize you were really good?
I realized that I had a talent for it probably in freshman year of high school. I really developed going into it, so I really set my goals to run in college, and then as the years progressed to even go further than that, hopefully.
What's something special about your hometown besides being close to UIW?
I'll say it's a very friendly environment. Everyone there is very welcoming, and it's a very close community, so that's one thing about it. And the city is a very sports city, football, track, everything, just they're very supportive of it, and it's awesome. You have set 2 school records, the 1,500 meters and in the 3,000 meter as well. What did these accomplishments mean to you? They're great accomplishments. I would say, you know, I'm proud of the times, but to me it's only a milestone. It's not where I want to finish at. So, you know, I'm proud of it, but I'm going to continue working to drop them even more and get even better. What's your biggest accomplishment as an athlete? I would say really being a leader to these men and the team overall. It's just seeing some of these guys grow and develop and push beyond their limits has been very inspiring to see myself. And I feel like I've been pushing to help them do that every day. And yeah, it's been great. What is your mental tool that you use under pressure? Under pressure, I'm a really firm believer of talking to yourself. No crazy talk, but just reaffirming myself of what's gone on in practice, and the times I've ran, the reps, you know, talking to myself saying I'm confident, I can do this, and my times are there for it. If you could choose any superpower, what would it be and why? No cheesiness, but super speed. Fastest man alive, right? Right. What's something in your bucket list that you haven't done and that you're gonna do this year? One big thing on my bucket list is to get to the national championship. That's been my goal since I've set on campus, and I continue to pursue that. And then graduate, of course, walk the stage. If you could choose a movie title that represents your life, which one would it be and why? I would say earned, not given, because throughout my life, my parents have preached, you earn what's given to you. You know, it's not just gonna be given to you, you gotta earn it. So I've been taught that my whole life, and I still preach that to this day. And finally, what does it mean to you to be a UIW Cardinal? To be a Cardinal, I would say it's to be the best version of yourself, to inspire, to lead, and to really give to yourself, your community, and to those around you, and to set out to be the difference makers in this world. Well, Garett, thank you so much, and good luck on this week. Thank you. Cardinal fans, stay up to date with UIW sports this week as men's basketball faces Lamar on the road Wednesday at 7 p.m. and returns home against New Orleans on Saturday at 3 p.m. Women's basketball has a pair of home games starting with Lamar on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and New Orleans on Saturday at 12:15 p.m. Men's tennis hosts a home duel on Friday at 2 p.m. versus Our Lady of the Lake, while women's tennis go on the road to play Houston on Sunday. Track and field will compete in the University of Houston Invitational on Friday and Saturday. And finally, the UIW swim teams will compete at home against North Texas and TCU on Saturday. For more news and updates on all UIW sports, make sure to follow us at UIW Athletics on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For UIW Athletics, I'm Carla Bello. Have a beautiful day.